Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Off. I have the review for the April 15th NHL Games. So we're going to start off with the Sharks and the Oilers. This one sucked for both the Sharks and for me. First period, 53 seconds in, Connor McDavid scores from Darnell Nurse. Henrik would add another one at 4:01 from Brett Kulak. Fogle would score 10:40 the first from Draisaitl. Holloway would score at 19:35 from Henrik and Nurse. In the first period, 4-0 Oilers. Second period, Gushchin puts the Sharks on the board at 1:58 from Thomas Bordeleau. Fogle would score 4:41 from Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl. Perry would score from Bouchard and Holloway at 10:11. CC would score at 13:18 from Henrik and Hyman. Bouchard would score from Perry and Holloway at 13:49 the second. Hyman would score from McDavid, that's his 100th assist of the season. And Nurse at 15:35. And then the third period, at 15:29, Zetterlund scores from Eklund and Granlund. Edmonton takes it 9-2. Your three stars are McDavid, Fogle, and Holloway. Moving on. Minnesota and LA. So in the first period, Matt Boldy scores at 14:14 from Marco Rossi and Brock Faber on the power play. Second period at 19:55, Hartman scores from Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek. Third period, Kaprizov scores one of his own at 8:25 from Marco Rossi and Jake Middleton. And then Blake Lauzon would score for the Kings at 14:36 from Kevin Fiala and Cam Talbot. Minnesota takes it 3-1. Your three stars are Kaprizov, Hartman, and Rossi for that one. Senators and Rangers. So in the first period, I believe this clinched the Rangers, secured the President's Trophy for the Rangers. Anyways, first period at 5:55, Roslovic scores from Chris Kreider. Second period, Fox scores at 8:58 from Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad shorthanded. Third period at 4:34, Panarin scores from Lindgren and Fox, and then Lafreniere scores from Gustafsson and Panarin at 13 minutes. New York takes it 4-0. Your three stars are Shesterkin, Panarin, and Fox. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs this year. I say, knowing full well they got knocked out in the first round last year. Anyways, moving on to Nashville versus Pittsburgh. First period at 7:02, Crosby scores from Bunting and Russ on the power play. At 13:50 the first, Carlson scores from Crosby and Pettersson. Second period, Nyquist scores for the Preds at 7:24 from O'Reilly and McDonough. Smith would then score at 8:21 from Eller and Letang. Forsberg would score at 17:36 from McDonough. And then the third period at 2:42, Benstrom scores from Carlson and Pettersson to seal it for the Penguins. They take that one 4-2. Your three stars are Crosby, Carlson, and Benstrom for that one. Burns and Caps. So in the first period, John Carlson scores at 12 minutes from Strome and Wilson. Second period, there's no scoring. Third period, Nick Dowd, I believe former Canuck, scores at 19:47 unassisted into the empty net. Your three stars are Lindgren, Carlson, and Swayman. The Caps take it 2-0 for them. Alright, Sabres and Lightning. Sabres just fired their head coach after 13 years without the playoffs. First period at 1:26, Dylan Cousins scores from Jack Quinn and Bowen Byram. Second period at 2:27, Stamkos scores from Kucherov. Cousins would then score at 5:08 from Greenway shorthanded. Greenway would score at 16:13 of the second from Girgensons and Yost. Third period, Chernak would score at 9:39 from Nick Paul. And then Benson would score from Jack Quinn, Dylan Cousins at 9:54 the third. Buffalo takes it 4-2 over Tampa. Your three stars are Cousins, Comrie, and Stamkos for that game there. Isles and Devils. I believe this clinched the playoff spot for the Isles. First period at 12:22, Pajot scores from Engvall and Lee. Palmieri would then score from Riley and Nelson on the power play at 16:52 the first. Second period, Timo Meier puts the Devils on the board at 3:25 from Brad and Heischer. Nelson would score from Fashing and Palmieri at 11:48 of the second. And then McLean would seal it at 6:17 of the third from Lee and Engvall. The Islanders take it 4-1. Your three stars are Palmieri, Nelson, and Pajot. And then last game of the night, Habs Red Wings. So in the first period, Gallagher scores from David Savard at 4:25. Justin Barron scores 6:15 from Josh Anderson and Jake Evans. Comfort puts the Red Wings on the board at 8:11 from DeBrincat and Sherratt. Second period at 5:15, Harvey Pinard scores from Evans and Kovacevic. Gallagher scores at 15:26 from Jake Evans. JT Comfort scores again at 15:59 from Perron and Kane to put them within 2, I think. Yep, that makes sense. Third period, DeBrincat scores at 10:38 from Gostisbehere and Mata. And then Raymond scores at 18:43 from Perron and Gostisbehere to tie it up. And then the third period, in overtime, at 4:35, Lucas Raymond scores from Larkin and Gostisbehere to win it for the Devils 5-4. Your 3 stars are Raymond, Comfort, and DeBrincat. So that's all the games for the 15th. I will watch what I will tonight and give you a review of those games tomorrow. So if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.